Hello! My name's Kayla, this is Cinnamon the Score Bunny, and today we're going to talk about gyms in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, including how they might work, where they're located, and what types they might be. In terms of how gyms work, presumably they're going to be single player only. While it's possible in this game that we might be able to do like a double battle with one of our friends, or even have like a multi-battle gym, I think it's more likely that they're going to be single player and that we're not going to be able to do story type of things when we're in this multiplayer mode. For more information on that, check out this video that I made about multiplayer in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. While in other Pokemon games, gyms were always inside towns and cities, in this case, because it's open world, the border between towns and cities and the outside world is going to be a little bit more blurry. These might be the first games where gyms aren't necessarily directly inside of the town or city, but just kind of close by. Another thing pretty much everybody is speculating about with gyms in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is if they can be done in any order, because obviously with open world, we have a lot of freedom about where we go. So if we have to do the gyms in a certain order, it's gonna feel a little bit strange. As I explained in my map video, which is another video you should probably check out, there's certain areas of the world of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that seem to be higher level than other areas. I'm thinking that the distinction between which areas you can access is gonna be based on ride Pokemon though, not necessarily based on gym badges. Although it is possible that badges will be what unlocks different ride Pokemon. I don't think that's likely though. I think there's gonna be something else that we have to do that unlocks them, not necessarily badges. The reason I think this is because in the trailer, we see what looks like a gym alongside two other things. One of them seems like maybe it's a challenge, like a lot of times to get into a gym you have to solve a puzzle or something like that. But then there's another one that's just very unclear. It looks like it has to do with racing, so maybe that one relates to how we unlock the different legendary forms. Or they could all be connected. I honestly have no idea. But yeah, I'm really hoping that the gyms can at least mostly be done in any order, because it's gonna be really strange if it's open world, but we're still expected to follow a set path. Okay, with that being said, let's speculate about where these gyms might be located and what types and Pokemon they might have. The most obvious gym that we're shown in the trailer is this windmill town, where we can actually see the stadium where we're going to battle. I think because these are windmills and there are a lot of flying type Pokemon in the like windmill type of area, this is probably going to be a flying type gym. I'm hoping that unlike in previous generations, these gyms will have a little bit more type coverage. So maybe we have like a Jumpluff or its pre-evolutions, or a Talonflame in its pre-evolutions. That way they can deal with like ice types and rock types, which really threaten flying type Pokemon. Since this area on the ground in the main city looks just like the windmill stadium type of thing, it's very likely that this is actually a gym. I mean, it could be where we battled the champion or something like that, but for now, let's just assume this is a gym. I'm thinking that this might be a dragon type gym since it's the main city and both of the legendary Pokemon are dragons, but I could also see it being fairy because of just the vibe of the Pokeball here, or even steel because it's a big industrial city. I mean, not as industrial as some of the cities in other regions, but it's the biggest city we've seen in this region so far. If this is a dragon type gym, I could see it having the different version exclusives, so like a Salamence and the Tyranitar, since we're speculating based on the trading animation that these are most likely going to be version exclusives. Tyranitar is obviously not technically a dragon, but I feel like it's dragon enough, and considering Lance has a bunch of non-dragons, I think it'll be fine. A town that we're probably going to early on is this one with yellow roofs. It seems like this might be a sort of farming town, and what farming type of Pokemon recently got introduced? Lechonk. Yup, I think this is probably going to be a normal type gym with Lechonk's evolution as the main Pokemon. Normal type gyms tend to be deceptively tough, so having it located closer to the player character's home kind of makes you be like, oh, I'm just gonna tackle this gym early, and maybe it's actually really tough, and you're like, I'm gonna skip it and come back. In the trailer, we also see this town with red roofs, which I speculated in my map video is in the southwest corner of the region. Judging by the red roofs, I would kind of expect this to be a fire type gym. It's also located kind of close to the desert, so like maybe. However, I think that fire seems to be just a little bit weird considering the area we've seen around here doesn't really have a lot of fire types. I actually think that it's more likely that this area might have a poison type gym, especially because we see this clip of Venonat running around kind of close to there. Maybe Venonat will be getting a new evolution. That would be a good idea because Venomoth isn't exactly known for being the strongest. So that's 4 gyms, and we probably have the most evidence for those. But based on areas that commonly get gyms, I think we can figure out at least a few more. First is this desert area, which has to have a ground type gym. I mean, even in this clip, we can see something digging through the ground. I will be shocked if there's not a ground type gym in this area. I guess it could be a rock type gym instead, but ground just feels a lot more fitting. I heard a lot of people chatting about a potential new form of Dugtrio. If that exists and it's ground type, maybe that's the Pokemon for this gym. Another area that's likely to have a gym is the mountainous, snowy area. The most obvious thing for this would be for it to be an ice type gym, but honestly, that's kind of boring and cliche at this point. I'm hoping that instead we'll have a ghost type gym in this area with Frostlass and Hisuian Zoroark. Zoroark itself is a very well loved Pokemon, and Hisuian Zoroark is arguably even more so, so giving it the spotlight in this game would definitely make sense. Especially because they just put out this mini-series related to Zorua and Zoroark, and the 2 Pokemon tend to live in places that are cold. It would be a fantastic subversion of expectations for this to be a ghost type gym. I also suspect that this lake area will have a gym. In my map video, I speculated that this would be in the northwest corner of the map. Because of the giant lake, I think this might be a water type gym. However, in the trailer, we're not shown any water Pokemon in this area. So honestly, I'm pretty confused about this one, but for now, I'm gonna predict water. Okay, so that's 7 gyms. Where's the 8th one? I am honestly not very sure about this last gym. Considering the distribution of gyms around the region, I'm thinking that maybe this is in the southwest most corner of the map, like really far southwest, but I'm really not sure about that. And I also am not sure what type it would be. I'm kind of hoping that it'll be a grass type gym, maybe with an evolution of Go-Go. But if it is a grass type gym, I would really like for it to have Smoliv's evolution, which hopefully will be grass fire. And Smoliv is probably mostly spawning very far away from this area. So maybe the gym is in another location closer to Smoliv, or the trainer just happens to have this Pokemon anyway. So here's a map showing where the gyms might be with the different type symbols representing where the gym will be located. Do you have any thoughts about how gyms will work in these games? And also, where do you think the gyms will be located and what will their types be? We don't have a lot of evidence to go off of yet, so most things are possible. Let me know all of your thoughts about this in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video around with your friends. Bye!